I like this word influence. Dale Carnegie wrote a book a long time ago called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It was a
Yeah.
huge bestseller.
Yeah.
And I don't normally think about it in terms of influence, but now that I'm here on your podcast, I am thinking about how have I done that? I think podcast. So yes, we want to brand, get really focused with the niche for the podcast. That's going to help attract the right audience who might be interested in your services. But when you want to build your influence, how does one do that? And I think one way that I've been doing it over the last couple of years is by reaching out to be a guest on other podcasts. So
Yeah.
so here I am, I'm talking to you, I'm having some influence with you right now, and you're going to have an experience of me. If you have a positive experience of me at the end of this, I probably have some more influence with you. You'll be like, hey, this guy's great, he knows his stuff. Now I have more influence because I've been here. Plus, there are your listeners, right? Your listeners are listening. If they like what I say, something will go in. I'm influencing them. So I think guest appearances are a great way to have some influence. And then the other thing you want to do is help people. So one way I'll help listeners is I've created a gift basket of goodies that will help them in their business that we can give away, if you like, at the end of this show. How I might help you is at the end of the show, I'll probably ask you, how can I help you this year? Would you like great guest recommendations? Are there some shows you want to be on? Or would you like a laser coaching session? Sometimes I offer that. And giving is a great way to put some goodwill in the bank and create some influence. So in the last couple of years, I've been helping a lot of people. I make a lot of introductions. I do some free coaching sessions for people and I help. And then sometimes I go and ask for favors. Now, it's not always a direct correlation. I might ask for a favor from someone that I haven't done anything for, but I think it's important that there's a universal law that I think it's important. If you're constantly taking, you're going to run out of goodwill. So I think there's some kind of balance that's required. You just keep on giving and giving and giving and giving. And then when you ask, the universe tends to respond. And so I've got people right now making introductions for me and connecting me to other podcasts. We keep climbing the ladder.
I had no idea that these are some of these, really valuable benefits when you're building this network and not just working with someone, but, really building the relationships with people with an interview podcast. And you said that you were big on this, like relationship marketing.
Yeah.
Right?
I didn't know that I was good at this until someone pointed it out. He said, you are really, really great at networking. And I hadn't thought of myself that way because I don't go to like the local chamber of commerce and hand out business cards. And, I don't do that. But if I'm really interested in someone, I'll reach out and we might have a phone call and we might connect. Like, for example, there's a book called Getting Real by Susan Campbell. And I wrote an app called Get Real. And so 6 years ago, I reached out to her, said, hey, maybe we should talk. Maybe there's ways we can help each other. 6 years ago, last week, she responded to that message on Messenger. She's like, I don't know when you sent this, but I'd be happy to talk. I'm like, wow, okay. And I figured it's worth 20 minutes on a Zoom call. You just never know. So love this woman. She's about to turn 80 and she's been around, man, that like the names that she just, oh yeah, I know him. He was a student in my class. I'm like, what? So I just really enjoyed her. Now we're sending links back and forth. I'm going to write a review for her next book. We just met each other. I'm going to write a review. She might do an endorse. She might. I'm going to ask her if she'll endorse my new book that's coming out. So that's an example of just building relationships with people. And the best relationships are the ones with people you actually like. Why try and build okay, fair enough. Look, I'm not going to try and talk someone out of building a relationship with someone you're not that into, because there might be something very profitable in it. But your best relationships, and I think the reason I'm good at relationship marketing is I really like the people that I'm networking with.
Yeah.
I like,
Yeah.
we'll go for a walk when they come and visit Boulder. And th- uh, that's how I think I've actually, like, people go, how did you get into the Transformational Leadership Council with
Yeah.
Jack Canfield and John Gray and Marianne Williamson used to be in there? Well, I've really networked, and I reach out and I take risks. So when I
Yeah.
saw John Gray sitting by a fireplace at midnight in a little hotel and recognized him, I was like, damn, I've been trying to get a testimonial from that dude. I was so nervous. I didn't know what to say. And I finally just left because he's talking with people. I'm like, what am I going to do? And then the third time I said to my girlfriend, I just walked away from John Gray. She said, put your clothes back on, get back out there and go and say hello to him.
Wow.
So I went out there. It's 1 o'clock in the morning now. I go and stand right next to him and wait for him to stop speaking to his friends, like feeling so exposed. And then just said, hey, look, I'm a big fan. I love your work. I've got a list of 40,000 people, coaches. If I can ever support you, maybe promote something for you, I'd be happy to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he said, well, what are you doing tomorrow for lunch?
Wow.
And I was due to fly to Los Angeles. I was supposed to be on a plane. And I said, I did have some plans, but I could move some things around. So I ended up having lunch and one thing led to another. And then John ended up sponsoring me to the Transformational Leadership Council. Oh, so I helped him, right? I said, I would be happy to promote you. And then when we had lunch, I basically coached him a little bit and to help him with some strategies for what he was promoting. That's how I hadn't thought about that. People say, how did you get into it? Like, well, I really worked it, but I helped him. And then I called him one day and I said, do you think my skills would be of use to the Transformational Leadership Council? And he
Wow.
said, yeah.
Wow.
And I said, would you be open to sponsoring me if I did all the paperwork? And he said, yeah.
Wow.
So this giving thing, and I don't think of myself as a natural giver, but if I look back over the years, it's been, hey, helping out. And now often when I do a podcast interview, I will start with, how can I help you? I may not even bring up any request or any ask, just how can I help you? And then do it. And then maybe I'll have something later, maybe I won't,
Yeah.
but it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun to help people. And what do they say? Lead with the giving hand.
Mm. Wow.
That's the expression. Lead with the giving hand, and it'll make your networking so much easier. And then when you do ask for favors, like,
Mm.
hey, I'd like to be on these podcasts and I see you've been on them. Would it be easy for you to make an intro? Here's a draft that you can forward. I got a lot of people saying, yeah,
Yeah.
you're a great guest. I'll do it. And so we keep helping each other. And
Mhm.
I'm thinking of the Circle of Life song by Elton John now. You know, I guess this is the circle of giving. And I had this thought, Tibor, just yesterday or the day before. I've spent so much of my life working on my own business and promoting myself. It's really fun to promote other people.
Mm.
And it just occurred to me, I wonder what life would be like if instead of promoting ourselves, we only promoted other people. What if I put all my efforts into promoting Tibor and promoting John Gray and promoting Jack Canfield and promoting, and then
Yeah.
they might spend their efforts promoting me. What if we just promoted each other instead of ourselves? Almost like Burning Man, where you're not trying to sell anything, you're just gifting.
Yeah.
It's a gifting economy. So anyway, it's something I've been playing with in my head.